Alright, we are here. Usually we're doing the SSF hardcore paladin run, and the paladin is still good, but right now feeling kind of bored with it because I haven't had a lot of time between streams to work on him at all, and 2 hours really isn't a lot of time to get any progress in with the rate that we were able to kill things in Unrest. So I know last week we briefly checked out the Alcabor project. For that reason, I wanted to jump over here and maybe mess around, make a character here, see how we like it. For the sake of completion, I suppose, we're starting right from character select here. So I'm thinking I want to do a Necromancer just to have fun. We're gonna try SSF hardcore, but I mean, you know, it's a Necromancer, so how much does it matter? I was really torn between Human, Erudite, and Ixar. I've done Erudite in the past. I really like Human for worshipping Burtox and being in the Kanos area. But I think I'm gonna go with Ixar because I've never done like the full Ixar Necromancer run before, and I really want to enjoy the experience of having the enhanced regeneration to balance the Lich. So with that said, let's jump in. This race class deity combination is of high difficulty. All right, here we are. Let's see, get rid of that. It looks like our reflective appearance here doesn't work. That's unfortunate. But otherwise, everything should be good. It is the time of your rebirth. You are no longer a broodling. You are now an apprentice of the Dark Circle. Your lessons shall begin immediately. Return this note to me. I await within your new home, the Tower of Death, the Harbinger. Spooky. All right, we also have, let's see, we have 2 spells here. Should be life tap and minor shielding. This is on the Alcabor server, of course. It uses the most classic UI, I think, or not, sorry, not UI. It uses the most classic client that I'm aware of on any emulated server. Much earlier client than Titanium, which we use on P99. So as you can see, certain things are a little bit more true to 1999. Mr. Jones, the Paladin did not die, fortunately. I just wanted to mess around on the Alcabor server because mostly because of the client. So in the spirit of that, we're rolling up a solo self-found hardcore Necromancer. But the Paladin is still good. He is level 17 in Unrest. It's just like right now, only being able to stream about 4 hours a week, 5 hours maybe. If I can't play in between streams at all, which was the case this week, I really can't do a lot with Paladin based on the kill speed that we have in Unrest. No, he's not dead yet, kill switch. So like, if you guys remember, those of you who watched the original Paladin run, this level 17 to 20 area was actually kind of a tough spot for that run too. On Airdoon, we used high keep guard cheese to push ourselves up to 20, and then after 20 it gets a little bit easier because you lose that newbie damage cap, and we have the Deep Water Harpoon, so we're actually putting out some decent DPS. On P99, obviously they have the patch, non-classic, not that I mind, but they have the patch which makes it so that if guards assist, you pretty much are guaranteed not to get any EXP. So this 17 through 20 level spread is going to be really, really challenging on P99 just to slog through it because we're kind of at our weakest relative to the mobs we fight. Which means it's going to take a huge amount of time. Last time we got like 1 bub of EXP in the 2 hours that I was streaming. So I'm going to try to take care of a little bit of that off stream at some point as I find more time. In the meantime, so you don't have to spend a bunch of time watching me camp like some static spawn for 2 hours this week, I wanted to try out this Necromancer. But while meditating, or not meditating, but scribing my spells and memorizing them, is a lot slower than I remember. Oasis Crocs probably could be good. If I recall, they're like scowling, but not really scowling, and not really social, which is kind of like the opposite of Unrest. Unrest is funny because like the beetles in there are scowling, but you can sit next to them. They won't actually aggro you. But if you attack anything, regardless of how they con, the beetles will aggro you. So even though they're green, I just like, you know, I pull a blue zombie and I get a pile of greens there. So yeah, it could be good. I was also thinking about trying out the chessboard in Butcher Block. I'm not positive what the level range is on that on P99, but that could be a potential good spot. I have a little bit of an advantage with Undead just because Ward Undead hits for like 50 damage, which is pretty nice. Whew, man. So I think our dude, the Harbinger, is upstairs. The Paladin is still alive. The Paladin is still alive. Don't worry. Now I wonder if I can bind wound at the same time that I meditate on Tech P. I would guess not. No, the Paladin he's still alive. He's still around. No problems with him. It's just like really slow right now, so I want to knock a little bit more of the Paladin out between the streams. Otherwise, you're just going to basically watch me camp like a single spawn for 2 hours and gain 1 or 2 bubs of EXP. I want to bring the Paladin back to you guys, maybe a little closer to level 20, when I'll get rid of that damage cap and we'll start to be able to do a little bit more with him. I think this might be book quest all the way up, at least until 30 it's book quest for sure, with the current UI I'm using. TechP is up to pop, but it basically uses the pop client, which retained this UI and a lot of those old features. Whereas Titanium is actually a Depths of Dark Hollow client. You know, it's funny, like the screen that you guys see is actually a much larger viewport than what I see. I really don't want to go to Warslick's Woods, actually. I'm seeing like something maybe like a fraction of the size of what you guys see, which makes this very challenging. Also, there's no mouse scroll, so I can't like scroll out to see around my character. Like if I want to, this is basically like the only third-person mode that's really viable. And we think that we think P99 doesn't have quality of life. You know, I'm thinking since Pop is open here, I might just take the book to what? I was just over here. I'm an idiot. I might just take the book to North Kanos. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Archon. That's how it is on P99 Green still. But with the Velius UI, like the book represents such a small piece of your UI that it isn't super important. You just have to click the button. And by the time I hit 30 on green, I was like just so accustomed to clicking the meditate button that even after I didn't have to, I kept clicking it, opening my book and stuff. I feel like I haven't seen these messages in a long time too. Zaide saved. You guys remember that? Maybe I just like mentally filter them on TLPs and stuff, but I feel like it doesn't do that on TLPs. It hasn't done that on live in a long time. I wonder if you just start with anything in the bank here. No. Okay, that makes sense. We do start with 20 food and drink, which is pretty nice. I need to change my keys. User defined 1 through 6, I think. Yeah, I think this is my hotkey. So 5 and 6. Oh, I can only have 1. Can't have an alternate key? Oh, it looks like I can. Ah, there we go. Just have to back all the way out. All right, there we go. Cool. So that's just binding forage and since heading to my left and right keys. That way I'm just kind of mindlessly using those abilities. I know, right? This feels so good. Right in the feels. So I could even do the, you know, we could use the like classic Velius UI too. Yeah, maybe I'm just not hip to manipulating the camera. But none of these seem particularly great. It seems like more like what you do for screenshots. So I know, you know, sometimes you'll use these like really panned out ones if you're kiting. But by all means, Archon, feel free to drop some knowledge on me. Let me re-immerse myself here. Dude, the sky looks so good. I wonder if I'm gonna have a pet window here. Interesting. What did I forage? Deadbone barley. Yo, I feel like it took me a long time to forage that on one of our other SSF characters. What was it, guys? Was it like the shaman? Or there was some SSF character we were doing on Mangler that required us to forage Deadbone barley. Ooh, insufficient mana. Could be all over. My one piercing skill. It was the Beast Lord? Okay. Oh, you know what? Beast Lords are in on Tac P because it's up to pop. Yeah, so it's probably still a quest item here. Well, that's not good. Fizzled to boom. So I got a new shirt today, which I am currently wearing. Check this out. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there you go. I'm a big fan. So I'm guessing there is a POK book over here, since POK is open. Oh, you know what? Even though it's supposed to go up to pop, I don't think they've unlocked Planes of Power yet. Like, they're still in development. In which case, POK may not be open. The default font there is terrible. Wow, this is actually a blast from the past too. Remember this? Okay, they said POK is open. Thank you, Trendy. Yeah, I wish they had more. Someone said, are you the real Zaide or imposter? I don't know. I'm probably the Zaide they're thinking of. There we go. This is awesome. I'm really enjoying this. I know this plane of knowledge is gonna ruin some immersion for a second here, folks, but don't worry. We will roll right through. What's going on, Magic? Welcome back, dude. Glad to see you. The Proto. I need to mess with the font colors here. It's probably chat filter. Oh, you know what? Okay, out of character. No. General. Nope. I might have to edit my INI file. Oh, there's a view button. This just toggles me through. Okay. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I'm working on getting used to the first person. I enjoy it, though. Oh, forged up some roots. Delicious. So this will be good. I might just never come back to Kunark. Absolutely nothing for Deadbone Barley? Dude, you racist gnome. I might buy my spells here. And then, you know, we're just gonna pretend that we're a human, basically. Yeah, the number one thing I want to do right now is figure out how to edit my my font colors because it's really challenging to read. I wonder if I can edit my chat font size. Looks like no. He didn't die magic. We're just taking a break on him. Basically, we're kind of in a weird level range right now. 17 through 19 is kind of like a weak period because I have damage caps on. You know what I mean? I can't hit for the full damage capability of the Deepwater Harpoon because of newbie damage caps, which means I'm sort of at like one of my weakest points, and it means it's going to be slow. It's going to be pretty slow, which I don't mind. But what I don't want to do is show up for like the 2 to 4 hours a week that I am able to stream and camp a static spawn somewhere. You know what I mean? So trying to do this and hoping to find some time outside of streaming to put some progress on the pally so that we don't have to have like a really boring stream. I suppose watching me fumble around with the settings on TAC-P is probably not a whole lot more interesting though. Yeah, I was messing around with the display options. Ooh. Yes. Well, that's awesome. Evening, Zythan. How's it going, dude? Glad to see you. Yeah, try and TAC-P a little bit. You go third person direct, behind, zoom out, raise the camera a bit, then pitch down. Okay, so you're using the pitch up and down to kind of get it set exactly where you want it. That makes sense. If you think POK looks nostalgic, wait till we get to some real zones. Yeah, man, it is really nice. So what I've learned in my 20 minutes on TAC-P so far is that 80% of the difficulty I remember from classic Everquest is the resolution and viewport. I'm in a zone that is basically like crescent shaped, maybe square, if we're being generous. And I know exactly how to navigate it. And on TAC-P, it's hard to navigate. Yeah, I did chat font size. Let's try 6. It doesn't change it. I think that what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to go into my INI file and edit it there. Now this is the default UI, Zyathan. All you have to do is go into your INI file on the server and say new UI equals false, and it hooks you up. And we could toggle through like this, what we would commonly call the Velius UI. But this UI was present in Classic. You just couldn't. Actually, here we go. We actually have the Classic. This is the Classic one. The difference is that Classic, you cannot move around at all. All the windows are locked. I could toggle this. There's a window lock in the INI that would unlock this for me and give me what we would call the Velius UI. Then of course we have the no HUD. So I suspect that when you're using Stone UI, you don't really have much control over the chat font size because of the relatively limited chat port here. So what is this, like Kelethin? Yeah, which means we want to go this way. Imagine playing a warrior and just having your buffs fill up like what little real estate you have on the screen. Whoa, whoa. Zyathan continuing the gifted sub. What a generous man. Thank you so much, Zaide, then. Great Divide. Some we don't care about. Kanos. Man, my zone times on this server are like 1 second. Very fast. Is that rain too loud for you guys? Nick, I know you're joking, but I have actually done a little bit of research into like how much of a pain it would be to just buy like a 1999 Dell PC. Yeah, I had an idea that this rain might be a little bit too loud. It's kind of loud to me. Okay, well, good news is that the rain doesn't care about my options. It's just going to be loud. What we can do here is reduce it there. Is that quieter for you guys? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, all the retro nerds like us getting those CRTs. They've got really nice CRTs you can get now. Like that used to be like basically like studio CRTs. If you want like the perfect, the best image you can get on a CRT, you know what I mean? And they're like a couple grand. I want to say that I would never do that in order to play EverQuest Classic. But knowing me, it would be a lie to say I definitely wouldn't do it. All right, chat font size 1. Okay, doesn't do anything. Yeah, I'm pretty confident it's just a Stone UI thing. Don't worry, guys. I am hip to the chat font size commands at least. Time to die, decaying skeleton. Look at those graphics. So many pixels. You can count every one of them. Am I hip to the control key? You mean like to cast my spells? Oh. Come on, sir. Ooh, out of air loot. Immersion. So, this server has the newbie armor quests in. Nick, did you know that you can auto run in your strafe? Like you can get your character stuck in the strafe and just auto run at the angle, so you're just auto running at the increased velocity. What would I do for a duo? You know, that's something I've been thinking about, Zaide, because I kind of want to do a duo. I was thinking of this character as part of a duo. So I think all the classes you listed would be good. Paladin, Druid, Shaman. Cleric would almost be like too good. There's certain classes, if you're going to do a duo, you got to ban. Not just because they're too good, but because like they're too conventional. You know, like a Cleric Warrior combo. Meh. That's just like a little too ordinary. right, Dusty? I need my mom to come over to my house and just unplug my router every, I don't know, 45 minutes to simulate a call from some family member. That'll be the real experience. Zythan, I would say Necromancer plus anything would be pretty good. Anything that doesn't need to get healed. Even some of the healing, like the Necro could take up in the mid-range levels. Like Necro Druid, Necro Shaman would be great. Necro would be awesome. Bard plus anything. P Sharky, thank you so much for the raid. What's up, folks? If you are just checking in from P Sharky's raid, I am Zaide. I'm doing a stream right now of the Alcabor server. I'm not sure if the viewers will be familiar with it, but this is the emulated server, which uses the most classic client that I have found. So we get to experience that good old nostalgia. I am playing an Ixar Necromancer, and this is a solo self-found hardcore run. So that means I am solo 1 through 50. I do not purchase items from people. I don't group. I don't take buffs or ports. Anything I get in the game, I have to find myself, craft myself, quest myself, or buy from the default stock offered on a vendor. What else is there? What else is there, guys? Oh yeah, if I die, it's you know, character delete. Standard business there. This is the Alcabor server. We just created this. This is a brand new character for this rule set that we're making. So you're coming in at a good time. We're starting off at level 1. Kind of boring at first, but it'll pick up. Right now, we're just trying to gain some levels so we can get some spells. At 4, we'll get some new spells. We'll buy some bags, do all that kind of newbie stuff. Let's meditate for a second and catch up on chat. Man, I need to just like permanently permit you somehow, Zythan. There you go. I gave you permissions. Oof, that rogue mage duo, that's a tough one. It's just like the mage soloing. The rogue can play when the pet roots the mob. Yeah, so Zythan, I'd say Bard plus anything is probably good. Necromancer plus Druid or Shaman is really good, or double Necromancer. That's probably a little bit of work to do. Actually, you know, if you do 2 of the same class like Necro, you could pretty easily just like mirror the keys, so it's not a lot of work that way. King Snake Poison Sack. Oh, okay. You know, I've never messed with one of the mouses, I guess mice, that have the keyboards like built into the side. I've got huge hands. I feel like my Yeti thumbs could not effectively pilot one of those mice. Noob Cake, what's going on, dude? Glad to see you here. Life is good. How are you doing? Well, hey, that's not the worst thing in the world. So Noob, I know it's been a while. I now stream every Monday and every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm sure we'll have some confusion on Monday because of daylight savings time. I live on the East Coast. Whenever my clock says 5 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be on here. You want some of this? No chance. I can't believe my Bloodsaber faction doesn't go up from that. I'm just switching it up, Nick. Paladin is living the good life at 17 right now. It's just kind of a weird level range. So for those who are watching and don't already know, I have a solo self-found hardcore Paladin on P99 blue. He is level 17. It's a weird level range. I did the Paladin before on Eridune, the time lock progression server, when it was in Classic. Got it to 42 and died. But for that like 15 to 19 spread, basically what I did was I went to high pass and I cheesed the guards. Like I would fight a mob to like 50%, 40%, and then I'd pull it to the guards. They would kill it. And it just boosts you through that period of time a little bit. And the reason you want to do that is because it's a level range where you're like really weak compared to the mobs you're fighting, because you have a newbie damage cap, right? When you're under level 20, there's a hard cap on how much damage you can do. And as a paladin, right, I'm not dual wielding, so I've got this big slow two-hander, Deepwater Harpoon, that I want to use, but it's really bad when I have a damage cap. It comes really good at level 20. Can't even loot it all. Is this Plague Rat Tail? I think it's Plague Rat Tail. That thing sells for a lot. These things are like useless. So yeah, right now, basically the long and short of it is I don't have a lot of playtime between my streams. So 17 through 19 is going to be pretty tough on that Paladin in terms of timing and everything. I want to knock a little bit of it out between the streams so that you guys don't have to watch me like kill a static spawn somewhere in Unrest for 3 weeks straight while we try to get 20. And in the meantime, I've been dying to get a swing at TAC-P just because of the sweet client, really. Uh-oh. There we go. 8 copper. I've got to click like right in the dead center of those tibias. All right, let's drum roll this. 1 platinum. I knew it. Wealth. This guy's like a purveyor of junk goods, that's it. Yeah, we're back in there, Noob Cake. Back to work. Had a few follows there. Peace Sharky, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated. Phoebus, thank you for the follow. Dusty, right now it's content-wise, it is locked at Luckland. We have POK in, but they are currently developing Planes of Power. I don't think Planes of Power has been released yet, other than Plane of Knowledge. So maximum level right now is still 60. Their RAA and all the Luckland raid content and stuff is complete and in. And I think it's been in for a couple of years. So they're putting in a ton of effort to ensure that Planes of Power is as accurate as it possibly can be before it comes out. And, you know, at that point, the server is pretty much complete. Okay, we want to go over here. Run invalidated. Received Bard Song Clarity. Someone over here should sell Necromancer spells. Yeah, P99 put in a tremendous amount of effort to make the game classic. In terms of like removing non-classic spawns, making things respond the way they ought to. Oh, you know what? What am I doing? What am I doing? Obviously, the spells are in the library, right? Duh. But P99 uses the Titanium client, which, you know, is good and is relatively user-friendly. But Titanium came out with Depths of Dark Hollow. It's pretty deep in the EverQuest expansion list. Whereas the Alcabor project is using what I think is the EQ Mac client. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's tuned for pop, and you could definitely feel the difference as soon as you log in. In fact, before you log in to the Alcabor project, it feels a lot more classic. We happen to maybe before I log out, I'll show you guys. But like when you pull up the login page, it's exactly like what you remember logging in is. Whoa, Zaide, thank you so much for gifting that sub. Congrats, Noob Cake. Not the first time Noob Cake has been subbed, so welcome back, dude. I need to like get my reading glasses out for this run. I was talking about this a little bit earlier when fewer people were watching, but the viewport that you guys see on screen is actually much larger than the viewport that I have like on my screen. It's like stretched out in Twitch. It is very challenging to see what I'm doing here. Okay, this, I'm assuming this just gets higher. No. Either way, these are well out of our level range. So he's the high level one. Is this the low level one? Looks like it. IVU. Sense the Dead. Life Tap, don't need that. Disease Cloud. I think, yeah, Disease Cloud and IVU are both level 1s. I should have a pet spell. A terrible pet, but still a pet. Locate corpse, blah, 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 second strength. Leering Corpse is the second tier pet spell. Don't care about this. Disease Cloud we want. IVU, why not? I suppose it's always possible they don't have the first tier of Necromancer spells. So Archon, a question for you. Since you were playing in the beta, have you played continuously since then, or have you had like a bunch of small breaks? I've been kind of wondering, like you think with the sort of player that EQ attracts, there must be a few folks who like just never stopped, right? Like they started playing and that was that. Like most of us, we play, we quit, we say we'll never come back, we play, repeat ad nauseum. At least that's been my experience. All right, looks like we're not getting pet out of here. Oh, actually, that was not fishing grubs. Whoops. That's crazy, Noob Cake. 20 inches of snow. Yeah, that's kind of my experience too, Archon. Where to solo 21 Necromancer, not finding any groups. What server are you on, Glutes? The Pally is still living the good life. Don't worry, folks. He's not dead. We will return to him in the future. We're just messing around on the Alcabor server for right now. Glutes, I would mess around. Just me. I would mess around in high keep if I were you. I plan to level this character up like primarily by killing playable race NPCs. Ooh, Air Dune. Okay, that changes things. Let's bust out the Zem list. Glutes, I think if you do ! Zem, you can see the Air Dune classic Zem list, which we can reference to help you out. Oh, right, yeah. Good old Keith Parkinson artwork here. So I bought a new Everquest painting. Most people, I assume, will not be familiar with it, but I should get it before next Friday's stream. I probably won't have it by Monday. It is the art by Clyde Caldwell. He did the, if you're familiar with the EQ RPG, like the pen and paper tabletop RPG that they did for EverQuest, he did the artwork that is on the cover and back of the Dungeon Master's Guide. And I got one of those. Pretty excited about it. Yeah, that's how it's gone for me, Archon. Every major life milestone reduces my playtime. Slightly. I'd say my biggest gap in EQ was like when I originally quit. Like most people back in the GOD Omens of War era. That's kind of when I put it down with the intention of not really ever picking it back up. And I didn't touch it again until I was able to, like, you know, because at that time I was a kid. I didn't touch it again until I was able to afford my own account and pay for it myself. And I went back for like the nostalgia, like, oh, hey, let's check this out now. Because I played it as a child, a little bit older, more mature now. I wonder what I could do. And that's when I heard about like progression servers. And that's kind of what sucked me in, getting involved in the community. Back in 1999 era, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I felt like there wasn't a really great way, like when I was out of the game, to stay in touch with my friends, my guildmates and stuff. Like if I wasn't logged in, I wasn't really interacting with them. I was a kid. I wasn't really hip to like IRC too much. So I lost contact with pretty much everybody from back in the day. But when you rejoin much later, like on the progression servers, it's so much easier to stay in contact with everyone, which has the effect of like always pulling you back. I started my own guild. That was the very first thing I did. Like I came back and I was like, I'm gonna make a guild, and the rest is kind of history there. But after doing that, I was always getting sucked back in because my friends would hit me up and be like, hey, Zaide, there's like a new server, or there's like a new expansion coming out, let's do that. And I'd be like, all right, let's do it. I can't resist the call. So Glutes, I would say as a level 20 Necromancer, 21 Necromancer, you could probably solo pretty effectively in Sol A and get that sweet, sweet Zem over there. Lava Storm wouldn't be terrible either, I don't think. Rothos, this is the Alcabor server. TAC P. Uh-oh. What's going on? Skills? Skills, I'm wearing the new shirt. You can't see it, but it's here. That's what happened to me, man. I joined the military because I dropped out of college to poop sock 32k HP dragons full time. I would give that a big don't do to anyone watching right now. I doubt anyone is at that age. But if you're thinking about dropping out of important life projects to pursue EverQuest full time. Take it from me. Don't do it. My new policy is that I try not to sacrifice progress in things that I would talk to other adults about to do better in things that I would be embarrassed to talk to other adults about, if that makes sense. Like, you might talk about your college years or your degree at work, shooting the shit with your buddies, but I don't know, your boss might look at you differently if you're like, yeah, I actually dropped out of school to play an elf simulator from 20 years ago. Oh, that's crazy. When did you learn English, Dusty? I feel like my mana is gone so quickly. SJ 2012, thank you for the follow. Dude, that's what I do, Noob Cake. That's what I do. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, Long Hoss. There's nothing wrong with that mindset. That's, you know, that is the better mindset to have. Alas, I'm not so carefree. Pally is still sitting pretty skills, don't worry. We're just taking a break from him right now. Yeah, so Dabs, I checked POK for the level 1 pet, but it wasn't there. I think the pet is called Cavorting Bones. I saw the level 4 pet, but not the level 1 pet. I know the level 1 pet would make this a lot faster for us. You'd be at your 20-year mark already, Noob? That's crazy. I assume you mean 2000. Yeah, I was gonna be like, oh man. Okay. Yeah, Glutes, I'm going for the full Monty, as it were. I am 8 years in, and I've had what you would consider a very fortunate career, I think. I made E7 in 6 years. I was one of the lucky ones. Yeah, there was a time when I mean, honestly, if you want to like no life at full time and sell Chrono on TLP, you could probably still make a bunch of money. I try not to like mix money and hobbies. I don't want to make profit off my hobbies, I guess, because like it changes your perspective on it, and I think it can kind of spoil the majesty, you know. Yeah, Noob Kick, I would say I have a strong future look at the next pay grade. Hey, that's pretty good skills. Yeah, that's actually really good. He probably joined when he was 18, right? Plane of Knowledge by Heretic Elarev. You know what? What we probably did, stupidly, Dabs, is I think we were purchasing all our spells from the Shadow Knight vendors. And the Shadow Knight skips the tier 1 Necromancer spell because it's so bad. They go right to the tier 2. That is probably why we do not have it. Because the guys we were buying for were called Reaver, not Heretic. Yeah, I've got a package in noob for an officer program. We'll see. We got that nice torn cloth tunic asterisk. P99 green rules. Fungi tunic. Be like, oh yeah. Dread Pirate, we are currently on the Alcabor server. Charm, I would say, I don't remember it being hard. You basically, so you know how when you want to play P99, you have to like read between the lines to find a copy of Titanium. The Alcabor server, I'm pretty sure, was just like, download this shit right from our website and then unzip it and double click. And that was it. It was like super simple. Hey, if some of you guys want to get down on the Alcabor server, I would be happy to do like either like a duo self-found or like a static group self-found kind of run. It'd be fun. Bottom line is just trying to have a good time. Are we full yet? Okay, when we're full, we're going to go back to the Heretics and we'll sell and we'll buy that spell. Ooh, I'm not going to say it on stream skills, but you know, you can hit me in Discord and I'll tell you. So Alcabor has a setup where you can box three. I think you can have up to 3 characters in, 3 clients in at one time, plus a Bazaar Mule. I don't intend to box. I'm not really a huge boxing fan, so you won't see me do it on this or any other stream most likely. But it is an option for those of you who are interested in that sort of thing. This might be the EQ Mac client modified to work on Windows. I'm not positive. Someone here could probably tell you better than I could, skills. But this is, it might be it's not the Trilogy client, right? Obviously, because Pop is open. So yeah, I can't give you a good answer, unfortunately. I recommend it, Glutes. I recommend it. If you're not digging Air Dune, the nostalgia of green or even TAC P might like bring you back around. And also, I find the communities are much better, much more friendly. The TLP player base has been hardened over the years. And of course, like TAC P and P99 appear to enforce their rules a little bit. So unless you're trying to raid at the very least, if you run into issues like camp disputes and stuff, a GM will actually show up and attempt to resolve them. Not what you would experience on Air Dune. Yeah. You know what? Honestly, though, if you're trying to like play full time on a server, I say it's better to be overcamped than undercamped. It sucks being on like a great server that just has no one on it. Yeah, here we go. $7 silver. Yes, please. Uh-oh. There we go. 6 copper. We picked the wrong item from that rat. Sense the Dead. Invis versus Undead. Cavorting Bones. Yes. And we'll get Cold Light too. Thank you. No. Now we'll buckle in for that 10-minute scribe and mem. Yeah, Dusty, that's actually the same reason that I'm on blue, is because I knew it would be pretty open, but still, like, there's still a population there. Like I still go to zones, and I see people in like Unrest. There's people in Crushbone. It's crazy, actually, pretty surprising. On green, I'm sure they're like totally camped out, but on blue, there's still groups there. That's crazy, Skills, that Air Doom pop is bad already. So, Skills, are you back playing on Air Doom again? I know you had left for a little while. Yeah, Glutes, unfortunately, they do this thing on Twitch where, like, unless you're, like, a partner or something, your VODs get removed after a small amount of time. Hey, Shot Pony, the population on Attack P is pretty good. It's nothing near what it is on P99, but I think it's not uncommon to see 200 accounts logged in, 200, 250 accounts logged into Attack P simultaneously. That said, you can 3-box, so it's hard to say exactly how many real players that is. You know what I would like to see Attack P do? Here's what I think would be good. So, you finish pop, release it, let it be out for 6 months, right? Then you basically do what P99 did. You advertise a fresh start, starting in Classic, and roll it out as it should be, natural to progression. And you do this like 6 months to a year before you actually start the new server. So people get really hyped and you get that huge surge of players, and then you retain them because the server population is really good. That's what I would recommend. That's what I would do if I was going to make a server. I've never made a successful server though, so they probably don't need my advice. But yeah, that's what I would do. It's all about advertising for a long time before you launch so that you have a huge population when it finally releases. Well, right there, what you just said, Skills, is why there is no population on Air Doom. Because, like, once you do everything you want to do in anything, you stop, right? So people just come, they play for 2 weeks, they're like, all right, there we go. That was my shot of nostalgia. I won. I got my epic. That's what I always wanted to do. Quit. Chase, what's going on? Yeah, the UI is choice. That is true, Zythan. I have never made an unsuccessful server either. Nice, Skills. Getting that chrono, banking up for the next server. Chase, I would say that you don't level up very quickly. Yeah, like level 1 was really quick, but the rest of them were not quick. Uh-oh. Click run. There we go. What I need to do now is get this. You guys remember this used to be like a little mirror that would show your character in it? I want to get that working. It's probably beyond my capabilities though. It's crazy, but there is nothing I want to do more with this character than go to high keep and kill guards for like 20 levels. By the time we're done with this character, if we ever finish it, this is basically just going to be like the high keep emulator for us. Oh, you know what? You're right, Magic. I think Attack P has a... So the original Alcabor server had a permanent EXP bonus that was unique to its server. And Attack P, their primary goal is to be true to the Alcabor server. So they have that as well. Yeah, POK is the only pop zone released. I think there's other zones that are finished, but they're not released because they're going to release them all as like one expansion. To see my cash amount, that's a good question. I think you click, yeah, you click inventory. So you press I, and you have to make sure your inventory button at the top is toggled up. Glad you asked, because I am a lot more poor than I expected. That platinum we got from the rat tail disappeared quickly. Do I remember that, Skills? Yes. So we found a rat tail, a plague rat tail, which I I remembered was like kind of like a broken loot item. Drops from level 1 rats, sells for 1 platinum. Big monies. Am I going the wrong way? Is this the way I want to go? Come on, sense heading. Do something. Oh, Genshin. As a policy, I try not to put time and energy into things to support China too much. Not entirely possible, of course, but I'll stick to my old American, Russian-owned MMO. Oh, dang, yeah. The pathing was all jacked up. All right. Let's summon a pet. Let's watch my mana bar. What? Dude, it's like, holy, he's like a mouse, man. Well, now we get to make our pet attack keys and stuff. Socials. Ooh, text color. There we go. All right, let's check these out. The chick in that picture. Oh, in the bottom of my screen there, that is a wood elf warrior, I want to say, or a human warrior. And then right above her is an ogre. Over here, I think this is a, I don't know, half elf? See, we can't see her ears, but her tan makes me think she's a wood elf. That's a troll. Oh, I guess you guys can't see it, but behind that there's a troll. Obviously, Lord Nagafin is prominently featured. Yeah, I'm an Ixar, so I have a racial forge ability. Yeah, maybe it's pet health that I'm trying to do. I thought there was a report. There we go. Thank you very much, Zoe. All right, Longhouse agrees with us. That is a wood elf. We spent many hours on the lift, the newbie lift. Okay, pretty sure I'm not gonna have to make my pet sit for a long time. Oh, that's what's up. My pet can solo. I wonder if pets steal EXP on this server. They probably do. Yeah, there's a population. There's like, I mean, it's not P99, but it's 250, I would say, right now. Skills. Luca, is there a value in the current legit sub to Everquest? Yeah, if you play there only. I would like to say that Everquest is doing a good job at representing the game and keeping it alive, but I think I would be lying if I said that to you. So for that reason, if you're not playing live EverQuest, I would not maintain a subscription to it. Gotta be honest. That said, I think there are reasons to play live EverQuest. The new content is cool and kind of exciting, so if you want to do that, that's great. You can go back and revisit old content with super powerful characters and crush it, like the way you wanted to do when you were younger. Or you can play on the progression servers and redo the content, though easier. So there's reasons to play. But if you're not actively playing, forget about it. Don't give them a dime. Or you could be like me, and you've got a sub that you are too lazy to cancel, and you've had for years and years and years. %76% of his HP. That's not bad. You know what? It's funny. EQ released lifetime sub options at one point, and I was like, EverQuest doing lifetime subs? This must mean they're going to close up shop in like 2 months. I'm not buying one of those. Kind of regret it. I should have bought one because that was years ago. But that tells you like my level of faith in the company. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, they're selling lifetime subs. They must be like scamming people before they go out of business. Yeah, live is going to be very confusing. If you play, you should subscribe so you can do a time lock progression server, or you should just play on an emulated server. But getting started on an emulated server could also be kind of confusing. To be totally honest, dude, your best bet is to get a sub and then either play on one of two servers, Aerodune or Agnar. Agnar is a server that is permanently locked in Planes of Power. So you don't have to worry about keeping up because it's not going anywhere. And it's relatively simple. Good place to start. Aerodune is early on in its expansion cycle and the population is vast. You're going to run into some rude characters. But other than that, it should be a lot of fun. Oh, nice Zaide. Mangler could be good. Mangler is, it's got to be what? About to hit Omens of War, or it already is in Omens of War? Kind of further in, but that doesn't mean you have to deal with that content either, so. Nah, Paladin is still kicking, DM, don't worry. We're going to return to him. We just wanted to mess around with this. I've got a kind of long explanation for why I am not playing the Paladin right now, but it's probably just a bunch of excuses. All right. Next time we go to a merchant, we're definitely buying a backpack. Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, like, the less population a TLP server has, the less toxic it's usually going to be. So that helps. And usually the most recent TLP server is the most toxic TLP server because the toxic element of the player base always rushes to the newest server. Yeah, Cello is a lot of fun. It'll spoil you. You know, there's a lot less, there are far fewer null pups than I'm used to. Where are the nulls at? I'm trying to work on my faction over here. Krax's Dark Paw. No, thank you. That's a good question. We do not see concrete TLP player numbers. Coca, nah, he didn't. We're just messing around on this server right now. TLPs have really massive player bases, to be honest with you. Like, Finny's concurrent player base when it came out was probably higher than like all P99 servers combined on their best day. I don't know. Honestly, I can't remember where I got the number from, but I seem to remember somebody once saying that that either Finnegal or Agnar had 14,000 players on it. not concurrent players, but it had 14,000 active players who regularly played on this server. I don't know what that translates to in concurrent, you know what I mean? Because we don't really get that kind of data. But we can tell you that for sure, around peak concurrent that you'll ever see on a P99 server is about 2K. And honestly, those days for right now are over. Maybe when Kunart comes back next month, we will see those kind of numbers for green. No, man, Pally's living the good life still. We're just messing around on TAC P. Ooh, skills. Congratulations on your gifted sub. Thank you very much, Zythan. Coca, the reason I went with TAC P is pretty much what you see on your screen now. I could play it like I'm 9 years old. Holy shit, that's a lot of loot for one rat. But yeah, it's basically just because it's so classic, man. The client is so legit. It feels really good to play. Dude, this rat is balling. All right, we're gonna go get some backpacks and stuff now. Honestly, TAC P feels slower than P99. Look at my, like, this whole time that we've been killing, I basically haven't gotten any EXP. We're like not even a full 2 bubs into level 2. Yeah, Coca. Correct. I wasn't even paying attention to what I said. Did I reveal my age? The group bonus is insane. It's a really bad server to do a solo run on. Oh, you're right, Zythan. I bet you it does still have race penalty. I'm eating that sick negative from being an Ixar. I will take my 1 platinum, please. Thank you. When did you quit Air Dune Maze? Like very recently? Oh, literally today. People have been keeping me up to date on some drama developments. Not really drama, I guess, just like keep me up to date on trash talk from Air Dune. It's funny to hear. Coca likes to keep me informed. Some of my other buddies from Faceless tell me about things. Why did you quit? You gonna drop some bombs in chat right now, Maze? Dude, look at Dogle Pit, man. He's swagging out over here with his Valius armor textures. Okay, who in the world? You know what? I think I seem to recall like the optimal thing here is to buy pottery items for your bags, like those little glazed pots weigh like 0.1 or something. Oh, someone brought up Navy SEALs in general chat. That's awesome, Skills. That's really great. Smelly Pirate, this is POK. Zythan just dropping subs on everybody. Zythan, you have to have... Yeah, you've got 26 gifted subs in the channel. Thank you so much. That's crazy, Zythan. Most of my subs are actually from Zythan. Oh, wow. Look at that. Inspect. Nice. People chilling in the bank. Okay. I don't know, guys. I think it would be cool to start a little group over here. Maybe like every Friday we get the gang together and we play on TAC P. Got to keep in mind, I'm ultra casual. My playtime is garbage, so we'll be kind of like on my schedule. We won't be fast. That's funny, Coca. Were they all former Faceless guys, or has it leaked out so much that everybody has it now? Yeah. So there's this old spreadsheet that some Faceless guys made a long time ago, with a very detailed look at like raid mobs and resist rates and stuff. Like, you know, like the nerds really got together for this one, and they're like, we're gonna nuke King Tormax 50 times and track like his resist rates, that kind of stuff. And some form of that has made it through the ages, and you know, it's like the citizen audio trigger file that every guild on the planet uses now. Oh, that's nice, Melmond. So Melmond, have you ever seen the original Plane of Hate? Because they actually revamped it, and it's one of those zones where they did like a full geometry revamp. So it actually, the original Plane of Hate looks way different than the one on Vox and even TLP servers. Coca, there is no way I'm going to send you the audio triggers. I am way too lazy to pull up Gina. All right, these. Ooh, nope, not that rich. Capacity 4. Okay, so this is maybe not what I'm thinking of. I thought it was mixing bowls. Maybe they just expanded them, so they're not really good on this server. But on live, they're really good. I know deluxe toolboxes are good for sure, but there used to be this thing with mixing bowls where they like basically weigh nothing, and you could just use them. Grab this big ass box. Large box 8. The building behind the main bank. Yeah, we'll have to swing over there. I just need a backpack or something. Large box, probably like heavier than I need it to be. My strength sucks. What do we have, like, yeah, 75 strength. So I want to have like the lightest bag I can have while still carrying large items. Yeah, Coca, you know, I don't expect this. This one isn't about the challenge. It's about just like the nostalgia. We still have the Paladin. We're still gonna do the Paladin. Paladin is like is my white whale. Yeah, I could do medicine bag. I don't know who sells medicine bags in P99 though. Or sorry, in POK. Or maybe they aren't sold in POK at all. I know where they're sold in North Kanos, but I'll get killed trying to get there. Doesn't this guy sell bags? Sorry, this young lady. What is this? Singing steel vambraces. Yes, please. Dang, dude, gauntlets of fiery might. People just selling dragon loot to vendors over here. The server is Lucklin Skills. They're working on Planes of Power development to launch that. They've been in Lucklin for like years and years, similar to the P99 Kunark thing. So I think it's like heavily inflated Lucklin. Yeah, they had was it the deluxe Soon kit or was it the large one that we used to use back in the day? It got nerfed eventually, right? Right. So the server is meant to be in pop. They just haven't finished the development of the pop content to be accurate to the era. But like ultimately, they want pop open. As a compromise, they just have POK open because you know it's pretty easy. All right, main bank. Presto. Building behind the main bank. Let's go get it. Right. I'm looking forward to mostly grinding on guards. Like, I can't wait to do butcher block guards, high keep guards, Ogok guards, Felwith guards. There's so many guards. You know, I never did gnome guards, but that'd be a cool one. Dang, my guy wants a whole platinum for this toolbox. I remember using toolboxes for my bank. 1 platinum, 3 gold, whatever. We'll do it. You give to Nell and Cygnus. No, I didn't. Uh-oh, can we... What? What's going on here, folks? Purchase. All right. We're not buying that toolbox. Not meant to be exactly. I feel like this is like darker than it's supposed to be. I wonder if this or any of the other servers we play on will have a cool GM event for Halloween. You guys remember the old Halloween events that were super awesome, where like the werewolves would come out in the common lands and Varsoon would lead like the rising undead in Kanos Hills. Those were the days. Player made event. What are they doing? A treasure hunt. I'm surprised staff isn't really doing anything for the Halloween. For Halloween on green. Well, you know, it's cool that Riot's doing that, I suppose. It's pretty much how GMs did it in the real old days. They just literally pilot a character named Verona Vi. Imagine if this was just an RBB. I can't look at this. It's gonna make me sad. I'm out of here. I hate Plane of Knowledge. I said I was gonna buy a bag. I'm a liar. I give up. We're gonna kill some stuff. So was that an illusion mask of an Icebone skeleton, Archon? Right, yeah, the Velius loot on Spiders and Field of Bone. I would guess not. That was so funny. Remember the spiders that like try to challenge you to a duel because they're like bugged out and use the text from some Berserker epic mob? You engage them and they just like shout, "You're not worthy." All right, the barn. Let's go get killed by this fire beetle. All right, so that was an even con. EXP was bad. We've been compromised. My pet feels really slow. That is a cool illusion item. They could have done a lot more with illusions, I think, or even like just like visual armor sets. Like imagine if you could look like a Rivervale guard, or like really the whole guard series would be cool to have. Yeah, let's watch my EXP bar. He died too fast. We're gonna kill the next one. We're gonna look at my EXP bar. I can't use the pet attack command while my inventory is open. Look real close. If you were close, you could faintly make out the movement of the blue line. You know what that means? We're gonna be rich. Dusty, I would guess that it is like that. If you don't do like 51%, the pet takes a chunk. I only have to do 1 point? What's going on, Lion's Den? Let's check it out. All right, we have done 1 point. I feel that, Lion's Den. I feel that. I don't know. It feels like the same amount. The way the window is set up that I'm playing in, it's really hard to click on things that are at the bottom of these, like some of the done keys and stuff. Zythan is busting out the abacus over here with the real knowledge. I should just kill rats, like. Every rat is potentially 1.5 platinum, right? So. No, Zagorian, it's not really. I mean, yeah, he's definitely easier. It's more about like what I want to do. I really have a craving to be like an evil class and farm guards. As weird as that probably sounds. You know what I think did it too? As I'm playing my Paladin on P99 green, everywhere I go, I'm seeing Necromancers farming guards. Like, I go to Felwith to turn in my Taskmaster Earring quest line thing to get my rings. Felwith guards are camped. I'm walking around Butcher Block, Dwarf guards are camped. Everywhere you go, the guards are all camped out, which is awesome. And it made me want to kill guards too. Right, yeah. So you're taking a huge negative hit for not killing evens at these low levels. It's kind of challenging, actually, in this newbie yard right now. The fire beetles they're social, and there's a lot that are way higher level than 2. I mean, my risk is like really low, right? Easy to escape. This guy is an even con. Where'd he go? Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. Oh, he equipped it. That's what I'm talking about. We've got light. What does it look like? No bag in my hand. Pretty sweet. I always hate that when you put something in your hand that they don't have like an animation for or a graphic for, so they just have this bag that appears. You gonna race to 50 on the new TLP skills? Or are you just gonna like level hardcore but not like crazy person hardcore, I guess we'll say politely? Reese. CQ Reese. Is that like Conquest Reese? Is that the Reese I know? What's going on, dude? Good to see you here. Not my finest moment in terms of the content I stream, but glad that you're with us. Oh, Lost the War. Is this a troll? Is this the real Lost the War in my chat right now? Did you hear about the recent drama involving you, good sir? So Reese, I do every Monday and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, and I always do something that's not worth watching at all. But if you stop by, it's always awesome. Okay, so check this out, Lost. I upload like my Paladin hardcore run to YouTube every week, and on my most recent video, this guy was like, man, you know, he had some choice words to say about faceless members, and he was like, I was in what zone was it? Velx. He's like, I was in Velx lab, and one of your members, Lost Prophets, trained me for no reason. I'm like, okay. So I go, he has a video that he sends me, of course. And it's from like 2 years ago, and it's Lost the War training him. By the way, it's like an 8-hour video where you just happen to train him at some point. And I'm like, I don't know, dude. I think that you might be the only person in the planet who cares about this situation. Like, I guarantee you, Lost the War does not remember this, is not thinking about it. And you thinking about it, still being upset, is only hurting you. It's just a game, dude. Trains happen. Player disputes happen. We don't police that because it's group level content, and Faceless is a raid guild. So, I don't know, man. Get over it. Sorry. Two years. I mean, you know, I don't want my friends griefing people, right? But it's just a video game, man. You can't hold on to stuff like that. People bump heads in EverQuest, and you know, you have some quasi PvP action. It just happens. You get over it. You accept it's part of the game, and everything's good. And the funny thing, dude, is that the train didn't even like wipe their group. They just kept grinding. It's not like you were dropping Velk on them. Oh no, Leafy. What did we do to you? Yeah, someone. Skills. Well, what I'll say about it, Lost, is that that's between you and him. Like I said, if me or anyone else in any guild tried to police all group level drama that happened with their guild members, it would be a full-time job. I don't mess with it. Whatever your reasons are, they're your reasons. And if he has a problem with anything you do, he can be an adult and try to talk to you about it. I'm gonna die. Oh, this is a yellow combat. That's not cool. Did my pet succeed in taunting him? He did not. He's still trying to bite me. We're strafe running. Come on, XR regen. XR regen. Where's the fucking POK stone? It's over here. We're not gonna make it, boys. Pet, what are you doing? We're so close. Not today, Bat. This is peak EQ content right now. Running from level 3 bats. See, if I was a human, well, I guess maybe if I was a human, I would have just run to the guards, but that XR regen, clutch. Lost, thanks for the follow. Huh. Was that working on keys, Leafy? Or was this like way back in the day and like the monk wanted rock copper hide armor or something? I know. Is that a young Poopy I spy, or is that Poopy's brother? Long time no see, dude. How you been doing? Are you playing on Air right now? Oh, okay, I see, Leafy. DM, we do get a pet at level 1. There's my little scrawny pet right there. He's like a 3 pixel wide skeleton. He's not good, but I mean, it actually does make a big difference in my kill capability right now. At level 4, we get the conventional good pet. Descendant, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. 850 followers, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. You know, he's not a quitter. Look at him. Not like our last pet who couldn't even taunt a bat. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the Paladin was a lot of fun. Did you start on launch with Airdoon, or did you come a little bit later? Pally is still good. I'm just lazy. Long story short, if you watch the VOD, you'll see earlier on I explain it in great detail. I didn't want to be on for like 2 hours just killing like one ghoul in Unrest that I can solo as a Paladin. I'm going to keep going with the Paladin run, and I hope to bring it back to you guys when I have time to play the Paladin a little bit between streams so that you don't have to watch like the most boring Paladin content ever. But we're also doing this really nostalgic run on the Alcabor server, or TACP, the Alcabor project server. I got to do a lot of research on the TACP wiki to see some stuff. Like, I don't know if I'm going to have to change some of my pets, you know, like on green or even in like legit classic. You'd have to summon your pet, con it, and then like in certain ranges, you'd have to use your pet and like see what his max hit was to determine whether or not you had gotten the highest level pet you could get, which was really important if you were trying to like solo hard content. Pull this guy over here so we can get an ad. Man, Tyler, I don't know if I am fit to run a guild. I don't know. Honestly, dude, I don't see myself having time. Career progress takes up more and more of my time. Family takes up more and more of my time, and my life is really great. I love Everquest, and I wanna lead guilds. I enjoy it, but I just don't have the times there to do it right. Maybe I'll do like casual stuff, like small time things. But yeah, I don't see myself doing like hardcore raid guilds anymore in EQ at least. Of course, it's not the first time I've said that and failed to live up to it, so we'll see. Dude, right, Zaide? That's what I'm talking about. You know what gets me though is that like I really can't. I don't want to say it because people will use it against me. But you know, people are gonna be like, "Nah, you suck," and I'm gonna be like, I'm very compelled, you know, when challenged to show up, as it were. Yeah, it definitely is. Are there any other big differences? Yeah, DM, there is a good number of differences. I'm not super knowledgeable on all the Alcabor differences, but it's mostly related to the client. Like, I can't scroll out, you know what I mean? I can't scroll in or out. That was added with one of the later clients. So there's a lot of like little tiny things like that, but they do add up and affect your gameplay a lot. You out of here, Zythan? Catch you later, bro. Glad to see you. It actually reminded me, though, I did want to talk about something I wanted to talk about on today's stream was like the nature of competition and the nature of top guilds in EQ. Kind of a different perspective from what we've talked about before regarding those things. Yeah, that's a yellow bat. We're going to move away from that. So, kind of like, what is the goal of a top guild on a TLP server? You know what I mean? I think people have like a weird perspective on this, a little bit different than my perspective. Basically, like if you're on a live server, right, and you're a top guild, let's say you're Realm of Insanity, right, the #1 EverQuest guild in the world for many years now, the top EverQuest guild. You're on live, right? So you're at the cutting edge of content. If they one day said, hey, we're going to retire, they retire on top. Like they were the winners insofar as it's a competition. Not that it really is, but if there was a competition, they won. And they could say that. No one can say like the next expansion comes out, ROI doesn't rate at all. Some other guild obviously gets the world first expansion clear. They can't say we beat ROI. They can say we're the best guild because they're the current best guild, but they could never say that they beat ROI. Does that make sense? But I don't think that same mindset holds true on progression servers. And hear me out. With live EQ, the content is kind of infinite, and man, I'm not putting this together well. Oh, you're right, dude. The bat is gonna kill me again. So deceptive. Anyway, basically on TLP servers, there is a defined end state that will arrive eventually. There's a finish line, right? Live doesn't have that. Live is just kind of going on forever and ever and ever and ever. And it's never done. So when you get on a server and there is a starting point and a end point, and there's like an implicit goal, right? The goal being to progress to the end, to hit the finish line. It's more like a marathon. So something we see, we really don't see it often, to be totally honest. Most of the time, I guess we do. Late in expansions on TLP servers, top guilds frequently like just die and new top guilds are born. All this to say that I think that it's not really over until you hit live on a TLP server. Like no guild has won a TLP server in forever because no TLP servers hit live. Unless you're talking about like some of the advanced servers, like Quorum, where they had a predetermined end state. Quorum was won by what? Vape All Stars, right? Agnar had an end state. Agnar was won by Faceless Empire. Even if you continue after that, and it's perfectly viable to continue on Agnar after it reached the end, but like the people who did quote first from the beginning to the end, or at least at the end, were a certain group of people, and that was like the group that won in that perspective of racing to the end. Yeah, so this is actually an exciting time because next year is going to be the first time in a long time that servers hit live. Progression servers hit live. It's going to be the first time we get to see guilds actually hit the finish line. Very, very exciting to see. And then like Fippy, I would say that even though Fippy didn't go to live, because the server ended, it like died and never progressed further. Whoever made it the furthest, you know, kind of won that server. So I say that like Citizen was the top guild on Fippy. But there are people who would argue that Citizen wasn't the top guild. They would say, you know, like, whatever was the first, like, you know, the early top guild on Fippy, they would argue that they were like the top guild of Fippy. I just don't see it, because a huge part of being a guild is staying alive, right? Like your most basic function is to continue showing up and raiding. And when you stop doing that, you have effectively lost, unless you only stop doing it having already beaten all content. Yeah, in like a strict technical look, ROI did not make it to live because they nuked it a little bit early, but they were like the expansion preceding live. and they've been the top live guild ever since. What's up, Fippy? Yeah, he's not even a little bit hurt. You probably just piss a lot of people off if you say, you know, if you try to take it away from them. I just give it to them. I say ROI is the only guild to ever do it, and they're the top EQ guild. It just seems like splitting hairs a little too much, you know? Solarius, do you know offhand when that was? Combine server started, what, like 2007? It's been a long time, man. It's been a really long time. Yeah, so despite all the things we've read about, all the drama, all the many characters and stuff that we've seen on all these TLP servers, the guilds that have come and gone and been perhaps juggernauts of their time, none of them has actually performed the objective. No one has completed it, right? No one finished the run. It's like you sign up for a marathon and you sprint the first 6 miles and you're like, fuck yeah, man, I crushed those 6 miles. But then you stop and walk and then you jump out at the next aid station. Because you went too fast. That's kind of how I feel about it, you know what I mean? And that can be said about Faceless too. Like on Lockjaw, Faceless, they did well, but they didn't make it to live. And honestly, I question whether any guild on Lockjaw or Ragefire, that set, will make it to live because of the stuff that went down on those servers, hurting the population. I don't think there's like server specific competition anymore, glutes. All the content that's relevant is instanced, and what they do is they look at across all servers who finishes it and in what order. Faceless is no longer rating on Ragefire. They fell apart. Basically, when we did our huge Cello push, we brought so many people to Cello that any other Faceless guilds that existed pretty much fell apart. When we were planning out Cello, there was technically Faceless still on Agnar and Ragefire. So for a brief amount of time, there were 3 Faceless guilds raiding in Everquest, but all the resources really went to Cello. At the same time, POR launched, I want to say, on Ragefire, and Faceless lost to another guild there, and then merged with another guild. So they're still there. They're just not Faceless anymore. Yeah, Tyler, I agree with you. You know, every server we kind of identify like new issues, which could hopefully be addressed in the content and the competitive side. And I think the issue of the current era is the Zerg. You know, it's funny, when Faceless existed like 10 years ago, right? People called us a Zerg, and we were raiding with like 60 people. And at the time, like I didn't feel like those people were wrong when they called us a Zerg. You know what I mean? Because other people, like the top guild, EOE, on our server was raiding with like 35 people. Now, granted, they were like pretty lightweight for the scene. But yeah, we were seen as like a Zerg for having 60 people. And now guilds are like, yeah, we got 200 members. Like, geez. Yeah, no, I understand why, Reese. And, you know, obviously I had a big part in like recruiting for a lot of the Faceless guilds initially, where we had huge size, and I saw our organization size balloon every server. But like the existence of instances in classic content and earlier has caused guilds to balloon to astronomical sizes. Like there's just, if you're a guild starting on TLP 2021, right, and they have, let's say, the Finny clone rule set, there just isn't a reason to say no to any member unless that particular member brings so much drama that they're not worth having in your guild. And there's a very small select number of people on the TLP scene that are like that. I won't name them here, but you guys probably have an idea of who some of those folks are. Because as long as you have the administrative overhead to be able to lead raids, split raids with all those folks, it doesn't matter, right? Your throughput of loot is still good. And there's a mindset here, which is like when you have open world content available to compete for, every member you recruit is a member that your competition cannot recruit, and thus is a person who is not raiding against you. And for all of the talk that a lot of EQ players have about how like, oh, so-and-so sucks, or so-and-so is good, or like they're a pro, they're garbage, bottom line is like when you throw a monk behind Khazak Thul and he presses auto attack, he's going to do a certain amount of damage, and that amount of damage is going to be relevant in a DPS race. Or when it's 4 a.m. and you just need some bodies to log in to knock some easy raid content out so the competition doesn't do it. That's the perspective that a lot of these guilds have. Right, yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough because a lot of people don't want to lead raids. And it can be stressful leading raids, especially if you're not familiar with the content. But yeah, a big part of speed, not even in the newest content, but even in really old content, is having a mass amount of people. Like, so I guess Vishan's Peak is not as much like this anymore because you can't MQ VP medallions. But you can still spawn picks. So like, what would you do if you wanted to do the perfect VP clear time, right? You would have a group of people who are leveling, and their goal is only to hit level 60 as fast as possible. They never leave their EXP camps unless they are being called out to loot a VP medallion. So what does that mean? It means the rest of your guild is sitting at every VP key camp and multiple picks, ideally, because your guild is so large you could spawn picks all over the place. And whenever a medallion drops, you pull one of your roster of pre-selected people who are currently leveling to come loot the medallion. And then by the time they hit 60, they also have their medallions done. And then like, in theory, if you could get everyone to come together and be totally subservient to that idea, whoop, ding 3, you could probably do VP in like 2 days. I guess the only bottleneck would be the ground spawn medallions. But I heard they're super fast now. They're like 60 minutes or something retarded. What's going on, Sicarius? Good to see you, dude. Yeah, let me pull this up really quick. Someone told me the new swamp timer. Okay, so the new timer for ground spawns, I am told by a reliable source, is 55 minutes plus or minus. When we did it, I don't remember exactly what it was. It was a couple hours, I want to say. I want to say it was like 3 hours. And then it got reduced to 90 minutes. And I guess now it's 55 minutes. It used to be 6 hours. So if you're looking at, we'll say like an average of an hour per medallion, you could do VP in 1 day, within 1 day of Kunark. I guess at that point you're looking at track. You could do multiple tracks, split. It's going to be, we're going to see the first 24-hour Vishan's Peak clear within 5 years. You heard it here first. Oh, he went to 6 quick. I'm level 3 now, Bat. Come on. Come here, break. It's because I'm not paying attention. Just like randomly attacking stuff while I talk. Zythan, I think unless the ice caps completely melt and we all die, TLPs will still be a thing in 5 years. And I think we're going to see a 24-hour VP clear by a guild that is able to recruit 600 members, make them all funnel key loot, power leveling, and track teeth to approximately 18 to 24 people, which will then kill Faradar. But man, do people get salty when you do that. Even when you join a guild where like from the get-go, everyone knows what's up. Like when people were joining Faceless on Agnar, I was like, hey, this is our goal. And we're going to do everything to service this goal no matter what. People would join. They would know that. I would explain it when they joined. And then when we did it, what we said we were going to do, they'd still get really butthurt. When you tell someone that you're going to try to do something as fast as possible and it's going to mean funneling content to specific characters in service of the guild's goals, everyone says yes. And when they say yes, they all imagine themselves as being the person getting funneled to, not doing the funneling. But, you know, simple math tells you that most people are camping ground spawns, right? Or doing something like that. They're not slaying dragons. Dude, when we did Lucklin on Agnar, one of the warriors hit me up and he was like, he was upset that some other warrior was on the server first Vexthal raid. He's like, how much money did he Venmo you to get on the server first Vexthal raid? I'm like, dude, do you honestly believe that that's what happened? Or like, does it make you feel better to say that to me? I don't get it. But anyway, that's enough of my rant for today. The Alcabor server is pretty cool. I think it would be good to get a group going here. So hit me up if you're interested in that. Maybe like every Friday we'll do this. Every Monday we'll do the Pally. Who knows how we split it up. But I'm interested in it. I like this nostalgia. Looking at the EXP rates, it might be good to have at least a duo partner. So again, hit me up. We'll talk about it. We'll figure something out. This is going to be where I wrap up the stream. Thank you, folks. Happy Halloween. Hope you guys have a nice, safe weekend. And catch me on Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern. We'll do some more SSF Paladin, maybe. Zythan, I think Pally Necromancer duo would be fun. It would be good. If you're boxing that, yeah, it could be good. It would be challenging. And if you're not boxing it, hit me up.